4chan. Love it or hate it, this corner of the internet has left its mark on the digital culture in many ways people don't even realize.
Do we even know who is this 4chan?
It is known for the birthplace of countless memes, trends, and also movements. Some were just hilarious.
For example, messing with online children's games like Habbo Hotel.
Others were dark and downright disturbing.
Hi Chris, it's Bella. Happy 21st. Hope you enjoy yourself. Bye.
4chan has always been the internet's unfiltered chaotic underbelly. Today we are diving into this 4chan iceberg chart to explore the bizarre and sometimes unsettling depths of this notorious site. This is part 2 of my new series on my channel, so not to miss out on the next one, please remember to subscribe. And I won't waste your time anymore because there are many exciting entries just waiting for you. So I hope your snorkels are ready because you're going on another deep dive with Snorky.
4chan is the largest English image board. It's a community of 12 million people who come to the site, hang out, post pictures, post comments.
Go to the political board and you'll find racism, anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, misogyny. It's all there.
What if I told you that one of the most chaotic, unfiltered communities was created by a 15-year-old? Who was that teen who thought 4chan was something the internet needed? As this video is, I would consider all things 4chan. I love how the creator of this chart, old friend 9642, included Mod. Mod, otherwise known by his birth name Christopher, is the creator of 4chan. And yes, he was only 15 when he created it.
And you started this just like in your bedroom kind of thing?
Yeah, I was 15 years old.
Even if you're not familiar with the site itself, you probably heard about many wild stories about it, like convincing people to shave their heads.
Here's the before and after pictures.
To the creation of the group Anonymous, to some more disturbing stuff, which I will touch upon later.
The judge also cited that the top being inspired by videos of Christchurch that were posted on 4chan.
So I do feel like this series is great for everyone who wants to take a deep dive into 4chan, as more or less everything is covered to some degree. Now why would this 15-year-old create a website focused on anonymity? Well, he was a weeb and liked to do a bit of on the side. It's a joke, obviously. Mod was born in 1988 and grew up in New York City. As a teenager, he developed some interest in some more edgy stuff and became the member of Something Awful, a website featuring blogs, forums, articles, and edited pictures in a comedic way. But the second site he liked to visit, which sparked the creation of 4chan, is the anonymous Japanese text board 2 channel and its offshoot 2chan, also known as Futaba channel.
So I was into anime when I was 15, for a summer, and I discovered this website, Futaba, and what really struck me about Futaba channel is that on Western forums, it was really hard to find like lots of activity, and so Futaba is...
Kunlin and Sen were the people who visited 2chan. Much like 4chan, they could enjoy the site without giving up their identity. On the site you could visit story and image boards where people would talk about everything from daily personal problems, sports, ramen, and basically nothing was off limits. This is also the site who would give birth to the otaku culture, enthusiasts of anime, manga, and gaming. But Mod had just one problem with the site. It was a Japanese board, so there was a language barrier here.
And you could go on any Futaba board and you could just hit your refresh key and get a whole new slate of posts. And I don't speak Japanese, so I didn't understand the comments, but it's it's an image-centric site, and so it was accessible to me because I understood what the images were.
Not only that, but the West didn't have a site that would dive so much into the Japanese culture as he would like to. Inspired by this site, Mod would use 4chan as a template as he created 4chan in 2003. The goal was quite simple. He wanted to create a place where people would share anime, mangas, without the need for usernames or logins. A full, anonymous and open space. That social media sites would often compromise a lot of your information just to be used, and he didn't like that one bit.
But I think that the greater good is that is being served here by just allowing people. There are very few places now where you can go and not have an identity, to be completely anonymous and say whatever you'd like. And saying whatever you like, I think is powerful. Doing whatever you like is now crossing a line. But I think it's important to have these places where people, I mean, I get emails, people say thank you for giving me this place, this outlet where I can come after
Mod started quite small and shared the site just among his friends, and he probably never knew he would create a site that would change the internet culture as a whole. 4chan quickly became so much more than a simple forum site, if we can call it that. And just like I said, the site turned into a birthplace of memes, movements and trends. 4chan boards like the B-board and the poll board allowed users to say almost anything, no filters and no barriers. This led to one of the internet's most notorious anything goes cultures. Users celebrated their freedom of expression, but sometimes this freedom would spiral down hard into the most offensive and disturbing situation you can think of and let your imagination run wild. The anonymity provided by such platforms has a significant psychological effect, influencing how people express themselves and interact with others. Anonymity reduces the pressure to conform to social norms or to present yourself in a particular way, freeing people, so to speak, without the fear of judgment. This will result in people feeling they won't face any accountability. And just like that, 4chan's environment became actually a breeding ground for harmful and dangerous groups and content. But why I'm telling you all of this? Well, in 2015, after more than a decade of running 4chan, Mod announced he was stepping down.
There was a real problem because once you have lots of not safe for work stuff on the site, people think that that's okay, and that's the real danger. It's not really having the not safe for work stuff. It's just when your community all of a sudden now thinks that it's okay, either that they can get away with it, or that it's accepted and it's permissible. I mean, it's so hard to kind of pull back from that. And
burned out from the responsibilities, he handed the control of 4chan over to Hiroyuki Nishimura, the creator of the original 2chan. The site that has inspired 4chan in the first place. What a plot twist, am I right? But there were also good times for Mod, like how he was voted to the most influential person in 2008, receiving over 16 million in votes in an open internet poll conducted by Time magazine. He managed to surpass people like Obama and Oprah. This only happened because of 4chan. It was later revealed that users on the B-board had manipulated the poll results in Paul's favor. Several tools were created to assist in this manipulation, including a site that would cast votes for Paul at a rate of about 100 votes per minute.
Decided they wanted me to win it. I didn't instruct them to do it, they just decided that that's what they wanted, and so, 390% approval rating isn't so bad. So they broke that poll, and I ended up on top. I ended up at this really fancy party.
But other entries in the poll were also tampered with, because the first letter of each entry form a word spelling out marble cake, also the game, which is a reference to a IRC chat room where Project Chanology originated.
But that's not what's interesting about this. It's that they weren't putting me at the top of this list. They were actually, it got so sophisticated to the point where they gamed all of the top 21 places to spell marble cake also the game. The amount of time and effort that went into.
But where is Paul now? Well, he was hired by Google in 2016 to work on Google+, a social network, and he was also product manager. But he left the company in 2021, and Mod would simply disappear and stay out of the spotlight. 4chan's culture of anonymity, freedom of speech and viral influence have spread across the internet and changed the internet culture for better or worse. And it all started with a teenager's vision of an open, anonymous space. Christopher Paul may have left 4chan, but the site and his impact still lives on. Quite a legacy to have, but I'm not sure if it's one to be proud of. This is something I'll let you to decide.
I think that the internet is a paradigm shifting force that will integrate with the blogosphere and folksonomy, and it will leverage synergies between multinational corporations and different countries to provide the globalized environment that mankind so needs.
Konnichiwa, you magnificent
How to approach this topic without offending anyone? It feels like I wanna have a run blindfolded over a minefield, but here we go. Weeaboo or weeb can be quite upsetting for many people if they were labeled as such. Additionally, this term often comes with a lot of stereotypes that are sometimes funny but also sometimes quite disturbing. Well, if you didn't hear about this term, first, good for you. But if you didn't know, this was/still is used as a derogatory term referring to non-Japanese people who are completely obsessed with the Japanese culture, often to a cringe-worthy degree.
And there we go. The obvious answer that I have known. You've proven me right. Look at you. Thinking you have all the power in the world, thinking you could trick me. I've fallen for your illusion. How disappointing. So, you're gonna longingly gaze at me.
Many would think of weebs like that one fat guy who lives by his parents in the basement and having a huge manga collection and a $2,000 katana that he can't even use. And Oza, anime body pillar, otherwise known as his waifu. And they would also consider him probably detached from reality.
I'm the crazy weeaboo. Oh, that's not normal.
This would be a stereotypical view of someone who would use the term weeb in a derogatory sense. But there is actually a lot more to this term, that's why we will dive into this topic very open-minded. Let's start from the very beginning. As you know, 4chan was created as a hotspot for animes in mind, as I previously discussed. This is where the term started as a derogatory word for people who were overly obsessed with Japanese culture, especially anime, mangas, to the point of disregarding their own culture.
Just because you try and dress and act like a certain ethnic group, it doesn't mean you're that ethnic group. You know, when I was younger, I used to want to be Thomas the Tank Engine, but that's never happened.
The word has a quite unusual origin. It originally appeared in a webcomic called Perry Bible Fellowship, and it is a completely made up nonsense word, and 4chaners do love to discover new slangs to insult someone. And here we are. The people who adopted Japanese phrases and acted in a way that felt cringe or fake were called weebs.
You know, you really shouldn't mess with anime nerds.
The major criticism of weeaboo culture is that it often romanticizes Japan in an unrealistic way.
Happy birthday, Kotonoha! Happy birthday to you!
Instead of seeing Japan as a complex country with its own social and political issues, many weeaboos imagine that it's the ideal place where they would be accepted for their quirks.
See, also having a tongue too short for the glass.
Where people behave like anime characters and where they would easily find a romantic partner. This can sometimes include racial and sexist ideas, like assuming Japanese women would adore foreign men simply for being not Japanese. But don't worry, if you're ugly in the West, you're certainly ugly in Japan also. Weebs are also criticized through a feminist lens, as I figure out, because sometimes, and let me repeat that, sometimes groping and SAing someone in anime seems completely okay and even considered funny. Being a feminist or just a human being, this should be disturbing. But the most controversial part of weeboos are the ones who love a certain type of manga called a love, because many people consider weeboos as PDFs just because of this. We discussed this topic while covering Shadman, who was a lol artist. If you don't know what this is an extremely weird type of I don't know if I can call that even art, because it is sick as fuck. But to cut to the chase, it's portraying girls who are often like ageless or immortal or something in a very suggestive and pornographic way. Also, they have bodies of children, but they are immortal, all 200 years old according to the manga, so it's okay. Just this one thing, ask yourself who is driving this type of content and for whom. Plus, there are artists out there, like Shadman, who would often drive anyone who you want for the right price. I mean, just like 𝙀𝙭𝙥𝙡𝙖𝙞𝙣 kissed her 8-year-old daughter in a very suggestive manner.
Okay, so apparently people think it's funny to draw my daughter who is 7 years old giving with Donald Trump. I'm calling the cops.
But besides the controversial extreme cases of weebs, there is also a completely other side. While the term weeb was once derogatory, it has evolved into a more playful term over time, used by anime fans themselves.
Don't flirt with him. I'm not going to...
Because in the 2000s anime became more and more prominent in the West, fans would embrace this term over time, but to be perfectly clear, it is used both ways. People who are not in Japanese culture perhaps just only heard that term and use it in a derogatory way, but anime fans who are into the culture of the rising sun would not think of this word as an insult if they were called that by their best friend. Again, obsession is quite dangerous in most cases, and every community has its extreme cases. Going so far as disregarding your own culture for another one is somewhat extreme in my opinion. You can also love and enjoy something without being head over heels. But I'm interested in your opinion, I don't know. Let's go to the next entry.
A lot of people get defensive about this. Look, I'm always getting harassed by everybody to make fun of do it. But as soon as I even touch anime, oh, whoa, too far, everybody. Yo, everyone, like Frank, relax.
Hi, I'd like to take some time and explain the phenomenon of lolcats.
Now a very serious question. Are you a dog or a cat person? For me, the answer is simple. Say hello to Aga and Rina. But we aren't talking about lol dogs, but rather lol cats. Lol cats became an internet phenomenon in the early 2000s. While not exclusive to 4chan, lol cats were a staple of the early internet humor, but they were widely shared on the B-board.
That have come out of the site, some of you might be familiar with, are these lolcats. Just silly pictures of cats with text, and this resonates with millions of people apparently because there are tens of thousands of these, and there's a whole blogging empire now dedicated to pictures like these.
The term lolcat gained national media attention in the US when it was covered by Time magazine, stating that lolcats have a distinct old-school early 1990s feel to them. Users quickly started to experimenting with posting funny pictures of their cats paired with phrases written in a unique broken English style, much like seen in my videos, that became later known as lolspeak. It was random, it was weird, and it was considered funny. You'll be the judge here. In 2007, the lolcat phenomenon really broke out of the obscure corners of 4chan and went really mainstream when the website I Can Has Cheeseburger was launched, created by Eric Nakagawa and Kari Unibesami. I butchered that, but the site was dedicated to sharing the funniest local pictures. The site became an instant hit with millions of visitors to laugh at cat pictures. But why? I mean, they're funny cat pictures. What do I need to say else? Soon, cat memes were popping all over the internet and lolcats became one of the first global internet memes. And just like that, let's go to the next entry. Before Instagram and viral TikTok videos, reels, shorts, whatever the hell you call them, something completely different would dominate the internet, and still does. And if you're thinking about ads, yes, you're correct, but I wanted to talk about memes. Remember Rage comics? If so, first of all, a kindly reminder to take your painkiller for your back, and for those who don't know about them, they played a big role on Reddit, Facebook and most importantly 4chan in 2008, which feels like a lifetime ago. Believe it or not, once again the birthplace of this type of a humor was 4chan. Rage comics started on 4chan back in the mid-2000s. Specifically on the B and R9K board, people would share short, funny stories inspired by frustrations in everyday life. And just like that, Rage comics spread like wildfire. But why? The answer is quite simple. They were easy to create and anyone could partake, turning internet users everywhere into amateur comic creators. These comics would also give birth to a few distinct characters. Some of those famous faces are the Foo guy, who would scream in frustration, the troll face representing internet trolls, and also honorable mention is the Forever Alone guy aka you. Each of them gave people more ideas to make even more funnier posts. The very first Rage comic was posted to 4chan B board or random board in 2008. It was a simple 4-panel strip showing the author's rage about being splashed by the water while being on the toilet, with the final panel featuring the zoomed in face of the now known Rage guy. I know it's a quite unique way to start a trend, but it is how it is. As time went on, just like with 𝙀𝙭𝙥𝙥𝙡𝙣 and 𝙀𝙭𝙭 more and more faces would join the lineup and the comics would evolve. This also resulted in new characters, like the 𝙀𝙭𝙥𝙭𝙥𝙡, 𝙀𝙀𝙀 and 𝙀𝙀𝙀. Each one came with its own personality and own sets of jokes. But as time went on, Rage comics slowly faded into obscurity, and this was definitely a nice blast from the past for some of us. The people who haven't visited this era of internet probably think, how the hell is this funny in the first place? But it was a simpler time. But before I start to bother with some nostalgic nonsense, let's move to the next century.
Here come that bullshit, what up? Here come that bullshit, what up?
Now let's dive into one more recent meme from the mid-2010s called That Boy. So who's that boy? Well, it's a green frog on a unicycle. Is that boy Pepe's cousin? Well, sort of. Let's go to April 3, 2016, when the iconic That Boy meme surfaced into a Facebook group called Fresh Memes about the Mojave Desert, featuring a frog on a unicycle with the caption, "Here comes that boy."
Watch him rollin', watch him go, watch him rollin', watch him go.
The frog image originated from an animation factory, a clip art site that provided graphics for presentations. Soon after, That Boy spread across the internet. In May of 2016, a YouTuber named Zimo Nitrome released the viral video That Boy, remixing the meme with a voiceover and also including the instrumental of Crank That.
He be rollin' down the street, he be rollin' to the beat.
DJ Cutman also created a trap version of the meme shortly after, and by June that same year, That Boy became a widely recognized meme and even inspiring several revivals on Reddit in 2017. Now, how iconic was this meme? I don't know, I never saw it back in the day, so it's hard to tell, but as I can figure out, it was quite popular as it has 60 million views on YouTube, so that's quite something. But here goes the kicker to the story. Even if this was a quite simple and absurd meme, I mean it's a frog on a unicycle, but I didn't find any direct connection to 4chan. I found out that people would spread the meme throughout 4chan, but also many other sites. But like I said, the origin of this meme, as far as my knowledge goes, isn't on 4chan. If you have more info about this, leave a comment, I would appreciate it. And now let's go to the last entry of this layer.
He be rollin' down the street, he be rollin' to the beat. Watch him roll.
I sold an NFT of my meme for $600,000, and this is that story.
Who would in 2011 guess that a flying cat with a Pop-Tart body would take over the internet? This meme even made it into the Hall of Fame, and its unexpected rise to fame is quite wild. The story begins in April 2011 with an artist named Chris Torres.
My name is Chris Torres, but you may know me as the creator of Nyancat.
Known online as the PR Guitar Man, during a live charity drawing event, after being suggested by some viewers, Torres would create the original art pixel style of his cat combined with a Sherry Pop-Tart body. When Torres posted this drawing on his website and Twitter, or X, it initially caught the attention of his followers, many of whom thought it to be completely absurd. But it was a cute creation and it was a perfect symbol of internet randomness. This simple meme would later evolve when the YouTuber, seen on the screen, paired a cat image with a catchy Japanese pop song created by Danny Well IP. It was a quite repetitive tune, but an upbeat one. And it was like a match made in heaven. Uploaded on April 5th, 2011, the video Nyancat hit millions of views within weeks.
The user Sarah June actually uploaded Nyancat with the popular song from Daniel called, the Nyan 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 song. And that's where it really just exploded into the mainstream.
And there is no wonder there are hundreds of parodies, remixes, and even music covers out there. And if you're feeling down and blue, just remember, there is a 10-hour long extended mix of this waiting for you online. Thank me later. But is this meme connected with 4chan? Well, it actually is this time. 4chan's random and music board were among the first places where Nyan Cat videos began to gain massive traction. 4chan users started to share the original video and remixing it with different soundtracks, mashups and even pixel variations. To put it simply, the Nyan Cat became a viral hit. And if you didn't know, in April 2011, the Nyan Cat music video ranked 9th in the Business Insider's list of the top 10 videos, amazing a total of 7.2 million views. Additionally, the Nyan Cat won a Webby Award in 2012 for the Meme of the Year. Also, funny thing I want to add that Christopher Torres, the creator of the meme, decided to sue Warner Brothers for copyright and trademark infringement because the Nyan Cat appears without any permission in their game called Scribblenauts. Torres explained that he initially tried to negotiate a compensation but felt repeatedly disrespected and snubbed. The lawsuit was settled in September of 2013, with Torres receiving payment for the use of his character, and he would later trademark the Nyan Cat. Torres even turned the original Nyan Cat GIF into an NFT, selling it for nearly $600,000 and proving that this quirky rainbow flying cat still has an audience in meme culture. It is just amazing how this spontaneous sketch rose to fame and became an internet phenomenon. This concludes the first part of a lengthy series we have ahead. Like I said, last time we covered the first part of the first layer, so if you didn't check that video out, please do. But if you want to dive into some more disturbing and darker corners, I have many more iceberg charts waiting on my channel, from video games to horror cows, lol cows, worst YouTubers and so on and so on. Like the last time, sorry for not making this video a bit longer. Again, work is simply killing me, but at least health-wise I'm a bit better. If you're still listening and watching this video, I just wanna say thank you so much for watching, and I hope I will see you in the next one. I've been Snorky, and until the next deep dive, stay curious. Bye.